Ladies and gentlemen, I think there's only one thing that's fair to say right now. What's cracking, everybody? It's your boy, JPG. I'm not going to be rocking with my face cam for this because I want you guys to experience the entire presentation for how it is. All the slides, soaking it all in. You already know how it's going to be. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be my first time really talking about Ragnarok 2023, the biggest prize pool tournament in Mario Kart history. This is going to be an absolute banger. I'm going to wait a few minutes just in case we get some more people coming in. Don't want to start too early and, you know, some people miss out on a few things. Obviously, the VOD's still going to be up so everyone can watch it back and see, you know, just in case they miss something. But I'm probably going to wait like a minute or two before really kicking it off. But I will say, I think this is going to be a banger tournament. I was rehearsing the presentation earlier, and I literally felt like I was in grade school again, or even more so back in like my business classes doing the presentation. It was a beauty experience. And rehearsing it, I just kind of felt more in my element. And now, since having streamed for quite some time now and just been more so like doing YouTube and whatnot, it just feels like I'm more ready for something like this. So yeah, no, I'm feeling great. I'm really looking forward to this. I hope you guys are as well. As you guys know, Ragnarok is going to be kicking off on August 26th and August 27th. It's a 2-day tournament. We'll get into that in the presentation. We're getting through all of it. It's going to be short and sweet, probably around like 30 minutes long. So yeah, it's going to be a good time. And this is going to be, it's going to be about like a 30-minute stream, something like that. Going to keep it short and sweet. And you guys will be able to register directly after the stream. We got about 130 people in here, 130 plus. So we're going to get started right now on the presentation. So without further ado, let's start giving her, bud. So as you can see on the bottom of the screen, this is our little roadmap. So we're starting with the tournament breakdown, just going through how the tournament is going to actually work, how it's going to function. Then we're going to talk about how you can play in Ragnarok and how to conduct yourself appropriately with the rule set and whatnot, and just making sure that the registration process is as easy as possible and as clear as possible. And then finally, we're going to go over the tournament schedule, just showcasing what the tournament could look like given how many people register in a certain situation. So, basic information right out of the gate. It's a 150cc tournament, so not 200cc. It's free for all, every man, woman, whoever, for themselves. It's free entry, so you don't have to pay to enter. Anyone can play. It's all good. At least as long as you're eligible to play in Mario Kart Central tournaments. So that means that if you are a banned player, you cannot compete. We're running this through Discord, so anyone can register for this, but if we can track that you are banned or that you are using an alternate account, then yeah, like you're done. You're not playing. That's the main idea. Of course, this is also a 2-day tournament, and each day is going to begin at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So this is going to be the case on both days 1 and 2. And the reason why we decided on this one is because I would imagine for most of my audience and for most people who could end up watching this, even though most of like the player base is European or Japanese, I feel like more of the eyes that are going to be on this tournament could very well be from North America. So we thought that we'd cater to them, but also to, it's not going to be too punishing for the Europeans who are going to want to play. It'll more so be punishing for the Japanese players, but considering what's on the line, I'm sure the best players will be around for it. So there you go. That's the main idea. And let's talk about the participant cap. So we're capping this tournament at 3,072 participants. The reason why we're going with this is because there's two big reasons. The first one is that this is the most, like, this is the best tournament to register for, like, out of all of Mario Kart history. Like, there's no better tournament that has been ran, or that will have been ran, compared to Ragnarok, just because of what's on the line. There's so much more that you can win by winning Ragnarok beyond just bragging rights. So the opportunity to get like way more people just from the community is there. And the second reason for this is because 3,072 is the perfect number for running a 2-day tournament in like the way we're going to do it. because each day should run for about 6 to 7 hours, maybe 5 to 7, something like that. And 3,072, as you will see in the next slide, is a pretty good number for that. So if we don't hit it, then it's all good. If we do hit it, then holy crap, that's awesome. So there you go. And for future tournaments, we could then see, you know, if this is a regular thing, then who knows, maybe we'll get 6,000 something people for Ragnarok 2, something like that. And last but not least on this slide, registration's first come, first serve. There is no sub list, so you have to make sure you register early and make sure you're here like ready to go in the registration. The registration process is very easy. You'll see that when you join the server, so that's no big deal. And yeah, just make sure you get in early. There's no sub list. We're running full throttle day one with 3072 or less. Whoever signs up is the main idea. So there you go. So that's it with the basic information. Now let's talk about a hypothetical playout for this tournament. So let's say we do get 3072. That'd be best case scenario. And this is why. So on day one, starting at 1 p.m., there will be 256 rooms of 12 players. And it'll be 8 races long. The top six scoring players will advance to the following round. Then there'll be 1536, and then 768, then 384, then 192. Best case scenario, day 2 is going to start at the top 96 players. So that means that day 1 will end after the round of 192. Day 2 comes along, and it's 96, 48, 24, and then we get to the final 12. Now, as for the races in each round, this is tentative, could be subject to change, but in this example, at least in my opinion, the best way to do it would be rounds 1 to 3, the early rounds are 8 races long. Rounds 4 through 7, so the last 2 rounds on day 1 and the first 2 rounds on day 2 will be 12 races. And then the semifinals and the finals will be 16 races long. Now, usually, if you've played in my tournaments before, you'd know that I like to run 16 race finals. And for the semifinals, it will usually be 12 races. And the reason why I want to make semifinals 16 races this time, this is subject to change potentially, but in any case, the reason why I want to see semifinals be 16 races is because the prize pool split is for top 12. If you make it to the finals, you will be receiving a part of the pot, regardless of how well you score. I believe this is going to be one of, if not the toughest tournaments in the history of Mario Kart to actually make it to the finals. So I want to reward everyone who makes it there. That's the main idea. And that's why the semifinals are going to be 16 races. So let's just break it down. So $10,000 will be split between the final 12 players. As you guys can see, first place will get 50% or 5,000. Second will get 2,000. Third will get 1,000. Fourth, 600. Fifth, 400. Sixth, 300. Seventh, 200. Eighth, 150. Ninth, 125. 10th, 100. 11th, 75. And if you get last place, you still come out with $50. So if you make it to the finals, there's going to be something to play for. However, what you play for is obviously going to increase. And as you progress in the standings, it increases even more and more dramatically. So there you go. Good. Take a drink of water real quick. I rehearsed this recently before getting the stream going, so the energy is here, but the voice is not fully there. So there you go. All right, next up, how to play Ragnarok, the second part of the old roadmap. So, registration. So, this is a short slide because most of this is just, well, all of this is taking place in the Discord server. So registration will take place in the Ragnarok Discord server. The process is extremely easy, and when you join, it's going to be one of very few channels you can see, and it's very seamless. You go to the How to Register channel, and then it goes through the registration format, if you want to register as a host, and how to unregister if you don't want to play or can't. As aforementioned, the registration is first come, first serve, so make sure you don't register too late, or else you could be biting the dust. And if you do register as a host, it's important that you recognize that you are what am I saying, dude? You are required to submit the results of your room, and we do that through the table making process through the bot. And for those of you who are wanting to host, we are going to be making a like a tutorial for submitting the tables to make it as easy as possible. And that's why when you are playing, you do need to play as, like, your name needs to be the name that you register with, just so it's as easy as possible for everyone who is making the tables, essentially. So there you go. Moving on. The rule sets. Okay. This one is a pretty hefty slide, to say the least. So, yeah. Let's break it down. So, players must play by the Mario Kart Central free-for-all tournament rule set. This is a pretty lengthy rule set, and a lot of the time, you know, if you're playing normally, you're not going to break these rules, but here are the most important rules to know of. Picking a track that has already been played results in a -15 penalty, unless it's a random pick. And of course, this only applies if the track is selected for a second time. So let's say Mario Kart Stadium is played on race 2, and you accidentally pick it on race 7. If it lands on Mario Kart Stadium, you get the -15. But if it doesn't land on it, you're good. If you picked random and it picks Mario Kart Stadium, and a second time, no repick penalty, you are fine. Now, a bit of disqualifications here. If you have game-breaking lag, consistent game-breaking lag, you're disqualified. This can be in the form of consistent item roulette lag, or consistent room crashes, and other kinds of game-breaking lag. If you are cheating, you'll be disqualified. If you're being caught teaming with other players, you'll be disqualified. And if you fail to conduct yourself in a, formal manner, if you're making things unnecessarily challenging for us, if you're being a dickhead for no reason, you're going to be disqualified. Now, I want to make this very, very clear, because one of the main criticisms I've seen for Ragnarok is that the prize pool is so large that if people get caught cheating or something like that and get disqualified, or they don't get caught until afterwards, then it's worth it for them. Because in that case, they already won a certain amount of money and they're banned. Who cares? Let me make this very clear. This is not the only time I want to run a tournament like this. And on top of that, in future years to come, I want to run even bigger tournaments. So if you're disqualified for any really bad reason, you will be banned from future Super Major Mario Kart tournaments. So really weigh it out. Is the return on investment for cheating and getting caught really that high? I personally don't think so. So I would avoid doing that. I don't think you should do it. That's the main idea. You shouldn't do it anyways as a moral thing. But for a tournament like this, especially knowing that you could be competing for way more in the future, don't cheat. Don't be a goofball. That's the main idea. All right. Next up, let's talk about the tournament schedule. So, it's 3 days. The tournament itself will be on 2 days, but in terms of the pre-tournament, on Friday, August 25th, registration will close at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and this is 18 hours before the start of the tournament. The reason why we want to do this is because in the event that we get a lot more registrants than we expect, then we want to have as much time as possible to make sure that round 1 functions as flawlessly as we can. If there are a lot of people, it's going to be challenging to make it run as smoothly as we want it to, especially if there's a lot of new people who've never played in these tournaments before. So we want to give ourselves ample time to make sure that we can make round 1 run flawlessly, have all hands on deck, and then hopefully the rest of the tournament will be smooth sailing. For Saturday, August 26th, the rooms in the first round will be posted at 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 1 hour before the rooms will open at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Day 1 of Ragnarok will finish once the round of 192 is complete. This could be subject to change if we get less participants than expected, but we'll see what happens. And then Sunday, August 27th, day 2, the tournament will resume at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and more significantly, because the finalists will all be getting paid out, the semifinal rooms will be played one after the other. So, semifinal 1 will play at, say, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and then semifinal 2 will play an hour later. We'll be commentating both rooms the whole way through, and we will be seeing firsthand who's making it to the finals. Who are the final 12 of Ragnarok 2023. That's how the cookie crumbles. Let's see what's coming up next. So, FAQ. Now, I kept this pretty brief because I just wanted to, make a brief summarized presentation. Didn't want to ramble on for too long. So, if you have any questions regarding Ragnarok, we have a dedicated questions channel in our Discord server where you can ask any questions and get any clarification on anything. If it is a question that, could be asked by a lot more people, or, is something I just didn't really touch on too heavily, or isn't really in the rule set, or at least clearly in the rule set, on a weekly basis, we're going to be updating an FAQ channel in our Discord with any relevant questions regarding Ragnarok. So if you are unsure of anything at any point leading up to the tournament, just ask in the questions chat and we will address it on a weekly basis. Or right away if it's an easy question that can be answered right away, and it might just only be you who needs it. So that's the main idea. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, registration is now open. It is time to open up registrations for the biggest tournament in the history of Mario Kart. I'm gonna spam the link in the chat right now 5 times. Here we go. There's the server you can join up. And with that said, it's Ragnarok time, baby. You guys will see in the tournament section in our Discord server, that's everything you need to get cracking. You get the rule set, how to register, and the registration is open already. So there you go. Everything is ready to go for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys are looking forward to this banger tournament. It's going to be one hell of a time. I'm personally super gassed for it. We want to make this the best experience possible. And I hope you guys are looking forward to it. With that said, guys, first of all, I saw some donos earlier, but I want to get to the presentation. I'll run through it. Matt Walsh with the 2 with the again train. Thanks so much, bro. Keitano joined Nation Givener. Welcome back, Keitano. We vibe hard and give her full throttle. Nation Givener. Keep on enjoying those emotes and keep on giving her bud. And Bendy with the 1. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate that a lot. All right, guys. Gonna be wrapping up the stream here. Short and sweet, to the point. If you have any questions, ask in the questions channel in our Discord server. And yeah, let the games begin. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, thank you all so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day and keep on giving her, bud. I'll see you guys soon. Adios and let registration begin. I don't know what else to say here. Thanks for coming by though, guys. Appreciate it. See you guys soon.